Shema Yisrael.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The eternal light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, Incident at Sea, was written by Joseph Mindell.
This is the story of a strange trial in which the court had power but no jurisdiction, and whose judges were not impartial, yet sought justice. I saw it happen. My name is Johnson. I was in Germany attached to the American Army when we entered the concentration camps. I saw the men and women and the pitifully few children come out. They wandered homeless, unwanted in the countries of Europe. I saw them go back to the same straw-covered boards in the same windowless barracks, and now they were displaced persons. DPs, they were called, and their humanity was concealed by an alphabetical abstraction. I remained in Germany for 4 years, helping the displaced to find new places. 4 years is a long time. A few weeks ago, I was on a dock in Hamburg, waiting to board a ship for home. 350 displaced persons were also waiting. I walked among them, no longer asking questions and writing on official forms, but listening. Just listening.
Why are we waiting here?
Be patient. It takes a long time to load a ship.
They said we are going to America.
Yes, that's what they said.
It is so far.
Far? Far from where?
Are you traveling with someone?
No, I am alone. And you?
Alone? Where are you from?
Sachsenhausen, cell block 68.
I was in 72. So close. It's a strange thing. Used to be a man was born with a family and lived with it all his life. Today?
Today, there are no families. Only neighboring cell blocks.
Johnson, do you remember me?
You're
going home.
Yes?
You will forget how to speak your excellent German.
Then I remembered. It was 6 months ago in my office. He sat in the chair beside my desk, looking at me. Not really interested, but looking, as he said,
Ich spreche kein Englisch.
Well, speak in German. I understand it.
You speak very good German?
I've been here a long time. What is your name, please?
Benjamin Josephs.
Age?
24.
Where are you from?
Auschwitz.
I'm sorry, Josephs. I have to ask. And before Auschwitz?
I am a displaced person.
A person is displaced from somewhere. I must write it down.
Yes, just write down displaced.
All right, Josephs. Where do you want to go?
Do I have a choice?
Well, you'll have to wait your turn, but you may choose.
Then I want to go to America. Yes, I will go to America.
Oh, I remember you, Josephs. Tell me, what are you going to do in America?
Now we're on the docks, Johnson. Soon we will be on the ship, and the ship will sail. I do not think further than that. I've become unaccustomed to thinking of the future.
The displaced have come to expect little. To the homeless, the place where they happen to be now, this minute, is home. It may be cell block 68 or a ship on the Atlantic headed west. The displaced understand the sea. The horizon encloses an unchanging sameness, with no future and no past, only the not quite real present, in which no promises are made.
What difference does it make where I go?
It makes a difference, Josephs. At least you'll be out of Europe. What are you listening for?
A voice. I thought I heard a voice I knew. No, it's impossible. I must have imagined it.
The past is finished. Stop listening.
The past is all there is.
That's not true, Josephs. You're young.
You are an American, Johnson. You would not understand. They put me in a concentration camp when I was... Did you hear it? Johnson, did you hear that voice?
Sit down, Joseph.
He's here on this ship.
Where are you going?
I'm going to find him.
Whom are you looking for? It's dark. You can't search a ship in the dark.
The man who spoke. I do not have to see. I know his voice.
Do not stop. Keep talking. I said keep talking.
What do you want? I heard a man's voice. I'm looking for him.
A real voice?
I'm not crazy.
What kind of a voice?
A rasping voice, as if the throat were sore, but it carries far. I used to hear it over the groans and the shrieks.
I heard such a voice. At Auschwitz.
Yes, at Auschwitz.
My name is Hans. I will look with you.
Which way did he go?
The man with the husky voice?
Which way?
He was a stranger, just passing. He spoke a few words and went on in the dark.
Come, Hans.
Well, this, stranger, is he a friend of yours?
You might say. I knew him years ago.
Hans? What does he mean?
Olga, the man who spoke to you, he was at Auschwitz.
But so... No, Hans, he's mistaken. Tell me Josephs is wrong.
I heard his voice, too.
But, Hans, this is an American ship. It cannot be. You understand that?
He is on this ship, Olga.
No, all that is finished. It cannot be, I tell you.
But if it is not finished?
We must find him.
Old man, we are looking for someone from Auschwitz.
76 from Auschwitz are on this ship.
A man tall with thick hair of a light brown color.
There's more than one like that.
You would not look at him twice, maybe, but if you heard his voice.
There is a man with a harsh voice, a voice that carries...
You know him?
His name is Hauser. What do you want with him?
Come. Where are they going?
Come. It is for us too. Martha, go inside.
What is happening?
Don't ask questions now. Take the children and go inside.
Josephs, we must be sure.
I am sure, Hans.
There must be no mistake.
Hauser, we are waiting for you to speak.
What do you want with me?
Yes. This is the man.
Josephs, his hair is black.
Hair can be dyed, but his voice is the same. He was in Auschwitz.
Yes, I was in Auschwitz, a prisoner with thousands of others.
You are a liar. You were an SS guard.
I have papers to prove what I say.
The SS had plenty of papers.
I do not have to prove anything. What are you, Gestapo?
You talk of Gestapo.
Wait, Josephs.
What for, Hans?
I want to ask him a question. Hauser, do you remember Stefan in cell block 28?
Well,
what was his son's name?
this is a trap. If I answer, you will tell me there was no Stefan.
If you were a prisoner, you will know whether there was a Stefan. Answer the question, Hauser.
I refuse. It's my word against yours.
He is right. It is his word against yours. Then what are you waiting for?
Because we must be sure.
Hans, do you remember his whip?
I remember, Josephs.
And do you remember when he made ready to use it, how he rolled his sleeve up high?
A tattoo.
Hauser, it is my word against yours. Roll up your sleeve.
No, you have no authority.
Look, Hans, the tattoo.
They took him to a stateroom. Josephs, Hans, and the woman Olga sat against one wall, and Hauser stood in the middle of the room. Around him, against the walls, crowded close, stood the others, silently, waiting. Their faces were empty now of anger and fear and hate, as if, having caught their persecutor, they had no more emotion to expend. For a long time, no one spoke. Then Hauser said,
What are you going to do with me?
Hauser, you are accused of terrible crimes.
I was a guard. I did my duty.
Then your duty was a crime?
There is no use talking like a judge. This is no court with power to do anything.
You are wrong, Hauser. In a way, this is a court. We are not lawyers. We do not know the exact forms, but this is a court. And you are on trial.
What are you going to do?
We are men like other men who want to be just. It is a simple desire. The difficult thing is to distinguish justice from injustice.
Hans, I am not interested in justice for Hauser.
You must be, Josephs. Not for his sake, but for ours. That is why there must be a trial.
1943, Hauser came into our barracks in the camp at Auschwitz. He ordered my father to go outside.
What is the use of all this? We know the story. It happened to all of us. Hauser knows it happened. Don't you, Hauser?
I did what I was told to do.
Hans, we're wasting time with this trial.
No, Olga. We have heard the evidence, and there is no question of his guilt. Hauser, do you have anything to say before we pronounce sentence upon you?
You have no power to do anything to me.
You do not understand. You really do not understand, Hauser. Here in this room, on a ship in the middle of the Atlantic, you are alone. Yet you do not talk of justice, nor even of mercy, but of power. And therefore, Hauser, you are lost.
Hauser stood before his accusers and his judges. The sentence was clear in their expressionless faces and in their eyes. I wanted to be silent, but I had to speak. And Josephs knew it, for he said,
Johnson, you keep out of this.
You can't take the law into your own hands, Josephs.
I ask you a question. Why not?
Because you don't have the right.
Johnson, how long were you in a concentration camp?
I know what you mean.
We have earned the right.
Nobody can earn the right to kill.
You saw it with your own eyes, Johnson. We held a trial. There were no black robes, no legal papers, but it was a trial. Hauser was judged and sentenced.
Joseph, a man who was in Sachsenhausen taught me this. Al todin es havercho ad shetagia limkomo.
Where I was until recently, they did not teach Hebrew.
Do not judge your fellow man until you've lived his life as he lived it.
You do not understand. We are talking about Hauser.
And about you.
What do you want us to do with him?
Turn him over to the authorities.
So they can let him go again.
That was in Germany.
Is America so different? This is an American ship, and Hauser is on it.
Josephs, according to the law, men like Hauser are not permitted to enter. If he came so far, it was not because of the law, but in spite of it. Doesn't that make a difference?
Maybe. But what if they let him go?
Even if he escapes, turn him over.
Johnson, this is not your affair. Stay out of it.
Hauser's crimes were against humanity, Josephs, against me as well as you.
He was tried and judged. Now the sentence must be executed. Mikhail will need a rope.
I know where there is a rope, Josephs.
Make sure it's long enough and strong.
Josephs, do you know what you're doing?
Yes, Hans, I have thought about it. Not with a knife, not with my hands, because I'm not a murderer.
No?
No, I am an executioner, and he will hang from a noose because he is a murderer.
Here is the rope, Josephs.
Good, Mikhail. Tie him up and gag him, and use the rest of the rope to make a knot. A hangman's knot.
Stop it, Josephs. We are not torturers or murderers. We are not taking vengeance.
Then what are we doing?
We do not... I do not want payment from him for what he did. The past is dead and the scars will remain. We judged him and found him guilty and sentenced him. We are carrying out a just sentence.
All right, Hans, have it your way. You want justice, I want vengeance. The result is the same.
Yes. The result is the same.
Is the noose ready, Mikhail?
Yeah.
Then bring Hauser. Hauser, you cannot talk, but you can see and you can listen. Look at us, your judges.
And your victims, Hauser.
Look at me, a Jew from Lithuania, and Mikhail over there, who never saw a Jew until he came to Warsaw. And Olga, who is not Jewish, and her husband...
You did not ask my husband if he was Jewish before you shot him, Hauser.
And Stefan, who... Hans, what are you doing?
It is wrong, Josephs. It is all wrong.
Take your hands away from the rope.
You cannot do it. I will not let you.
It's too late to change your mind, Hans. We have decided what we have to do.
I will not let you. I will go to the captain.
Hold him, quick. Do not let him go.
How are you different from the Nazis, Josephs?
Hold him until we're finished.
You cannot kill him, Josephs. That is murder.
There was a trial, Hans. You were a judge. There was a verdict, and it was a just verdict.
There is no justice when the victim, the judge, and the executioner are the same.
Then call it vengeance. Hauser is going to die.
I will not let you do it.
You cannot stop.
I will call. They will hear me outside.
Hans, I warn you, do not...
I will...
Hans.
Kill me too, Joseph.
Hans, are you all right?
Murderers are not usually so concerned about their victims. Or their potential victims. You will have to kill me, you know.
No.
Yes, Josephs. If you let me out, I will go to the captain. I must.
This is our business. It concerns no one else.
And Johnson, you will have to silence him, too.
You do not know what you're talking about.
What you did is what Hauser would have done.
What did you want us to do? Forgive him? Let him go?
Of course not, Joseph. I cannot forgive him, and I do not expect anyone to forgive him. But there is a difference between not forgiving and what you did.
Hans, we have done nothing yet.
You did not kill him?
No.
We are not murderers, Joseph.
But we cannot let him go.
What's going on in there? Passengers are complaining. Open the door. Captain's orders.
Johnson, you did not give us away.
No, Joseph.
And you, Hans?
No.
Why? Will you tell me why?
Because I do not want Hauser to be rescued by the ship's officers.
I do not understand you, Hans.
I want you, all of us, to let him go.
I do not understand that either.
I'll say it again in my own way. I do not want vengeance. I want justice.
Hans, what do you want us to do?
Turn him over to the captain.
He killed my father.
And Olga's husband and Mikhail's son.
And you say to let him go?
Turn him over to the captain.
Do you know what you're asking?
I was in Auschwitz, too.
And still you want him to go unpunished?
No.
That is what it means if we turn him over?
Maybe.
Hans, you know him. You know the evil that is in him.
Joseph, a man is not good or evil by some inner quality. He is good or he is evil by what he does.
Then surely Hauser is evil.
I am not thinking of Hauser.
Of whom, then?
Of us. If our actions are evil, then how are we different from evil men?
We know what we want, Hans. Why must every emotion be confused with doubts?
Maybe because we are human beings and have to choose. And choice means doubt.
What do you want?
A simple thing. Open the door. Just open the door.
Hauser came through the open door, his hands still tied. Then came Hans and Joseph's and Olga. Joseph's took a knife from his pocket and cut the rope from Hauser's wrists. They turned and walked slowly between two lines of silent watchers who saw and understood. They walked to the captain's deck and stopped.
Captain, we have brought a prisoner to justice.
Hauser was taken away, and they watched until he was out of sight. Then they walked slowly back, the homeless returning home. And I remembered Hans's words.
We are men like all men, and we want to be just. It is a simple desire. The difficult thing is to distinguish justice from injustice, to know what is evil from what is good.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we present a talk by Rabbi William P. Greenfeld, Rabbi of Temple Beth El Tzedek, Indianapolis, Indiana. Rabbi Greenfeld.
The trial of Hauser has begun. A court of law, in the tradition of all that is decent in American life, will decide his fate. But even as Hauser is on trial, so too are we, not only for the sins of omission of the past, when we might have averted many of the evils decreed upon a helpless segment of humanity, but even unto this day. Have we as Americans abided by the noblest sentiments of our country in permitting the weak and the persecuted, the scarred and the broken, to find their haven of refuge within our land if they so desired? Our America was different from other places in this world. Our arms were outstretched at all times to receive the suffering innocents. Men of goodwill of all faiths were thrilled at the sight of the Statue of Liberty and were received by our people with warmth and understanding. We are on trial facing another charge, a charge that cannot be lightly shunted aside. To what extent have we, through negligence, made it possible for former stormtroopers to enter our beloved country, to continue to spread those evil germs that resulted in the final destruction of a bigoted and hateful Germany? Have we secured ourselves against the possibility of the repetition of the incident on the high seas? Or are there thousands entering these shores to continue their immoral and criminal practices in our midst? We are certain that Hauser will receive a fair trial. We must feel equally assured that our gates remain open for the innocent victims of all lands, of all faiths, and of all peoples. We must remain equally certain that we do not permit the insidious penetration among us of those ideas which we so valiantly combated on the field of battle. This will be our answer to Johnson and to Olga, to Hans and to Josephs.
Thank you, Rabbi Greenfeld. Our Eternal Light drama today, Incident at Sea, was written by Joseph Mindell. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Catons. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured as Josephs was Joseph Wiseman, Donald Buca as Hans, and Alexander Scurby was the narrator. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. Free time to present the Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.